Hello, my name is Sarim Shehzad. In this webinar, we will be discussing a topic that is getting a lot of attention all over the world, the race towards net zero emissions. Let's get started. In this session, I will cover what is greenhouse effect and carbon footprint, current global trends and goals, why you should care about your carbon footprint, the benefits of reducing carbon footprint, current government policies, an overview of how Amplicon reduces its carbon emissions, and ways to monitor your carbon footprint. The greenhouse effect is a process that occurs when gases in Earth's atmosphere trap the sun's heat. These heat-trapping gases are called greenhouse gases and help keep the Earth at a habitable temperature until there's too much of them. Sadly, carbon dioxide levels are at a record high, negatively affecting the planet's weather and climate systems. The rise of amount of carbon dioxide emissions trapped in our atmosphere is causing global warming, an increase in average temperature which leads to climate change. A carbon footprint is the total greenhouse gas emissions caused by an individual, event, organization, service, place, or product, expressed as a carbon dioxide equivalent. The greenhouse effect directly impacts the environment and human health through extreme weather events, pollution, glacial retreat and flooding, desertification, migration of species, food supply disruptions and food shortages, spread of diseases and pandemics, and so many more negative side effects that are dangerous to planet, to human and animal life, and therefore our future. To understand the challenges we are facing and the reasons why we need to act now, let's have a look at the global trends we have seen in the past years. World population, which is the main driver of global warming, is set to increase from 7 to 9 billion by 2050. Atmospheric concentrations of CO2 continue to rise. Current CO2 levels are 50% up since the Industrial Revolution in the 1750s. Global emissions have not yet peaked, and global average temperatures have increased by more than 1 degree since pre-industrial times. A temperature rise of 1 degree can seem small and insignificant, but it has significant impact on climate and natural systems. This 1 degree represents large variation in warming across the world. In some regions, warming is much more extreme. Over 130 countries all over the world, including the UK, have committed to go completely carbon neutral or net zero by 2050. Net zero is the internationally agreed goal for stopping global warming in the second half of the century. So going net zero means to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to ensure that any ongoing emissions are balanced by removals. According to Carbon Brief, the UK greenhouse gas emissions are now 51% below what they were in the 1990s, which means that we're halfway there to go carbon neutral. The milestone was reached after a record-breaking 11% fall in the greenhouse gas emissions in 2020, largely due to the coronavirus pandemic. Although this is great news, emissions are likely to rebound this year or next as the economy recovers. The role of government policies and regulations is crucial, since most environmental problems require collective action to effectively address the problems. Would you voluntarily pay an extra £1,000 to install air pollution emissions control on your automobile if it were up to each consumer to decide? There's no doubt that current climate policies will reduce carbon emissions, but will it be quick enough to reach international targets? That's something we'll have to see. The net zero emissions by 2050 can only be met if we all share responsibility for change and work together against the same goal. Reducing CO2 emissions is not just the government's responsibility, but also a corporate and social responsibility. Therefore, apart from government initiatives, businesses and individuals have a key role to play in achieving this target. So why should you care about going carbon neutral? As I mentioned before, the impact of climate change will be catastrophic for both the environment and our health. Extreme weather events such as heat waves, severe storms, droughts, and fires will be devastating, not to mention the implications of pollution and extreme temperatures on humans, which will lead to all sorts of health problems and diseases. If this is not enough, animals will suffer as much as humans. animals will be forced to migrate or just simply vanish. In simple words, you should care if you want to keep the planet habitable. A smaller carbon footprint is good for the planet and for your wallet. Each of us can play a part in the race towards net zero. We can make a difference through changes in our daily habits. Some will be easy, some may take planning, and others will help you save money. But how? A good way to save money and contribute to the environment is by replacing all appliances with modern, energy-efficient ones. So for instance, if you have high wattage light bulbs and big boilers in your company, which consume twice or 3 times more energy than the modern bulbs or boilers, you could replace the old appliances, which will help you reduce your overall energy usage and save you money. You can also look at how you handle the heating in your business. If you insulate your building and install double or triple glazed windows, you will be looking at less costs associated with your energy usage overall. Another interesting way you can go full green and save money is by installing solar panels, which is more of a long-term investment. Initially, it may cost you a great deal, but over time, these solar panels tend to pay for themselves and maybe make you some extra profit as you can sell the electricity you create back to the grid. Here at Amplicon, we were able to reduce our carbon footprint by 35% through taking small steps that made a big impact. We monitor and measure our energy usage with smart power meters. We run a car sharing scheme where employees who car share to work every day get free parking, and those who do not have to pay a parking fee. Parking fees are donated to Woodland Trust UK. We have been a member of Woodland Trust for many years. These activities really make a difference. A typical commuter creates 5 tons of CO2 annually. This is equivalent to weight of 5 smart cars. Green initiatives around our offices include use of low-power LED lights, energy-efficient heating, motion sensors, low-power thin-client PCs, Dyson hand dryers, a filter water tap, and loads of green plants that keep the air fresh inside the office. We also have a very strong recycling policy, including plastics, bottle tops and crisp packets, cardboards, clothing, and paper. For instance, our accounting is fully paperless. Other things we do include collection for disposal, and of course, we use AAA rated appliances, our fridge, copier, fans, and windows. Now imagine you're at a point where you have done everything you could to go green. How will you monitor your contributions and efforts? The answer lies in technology, and more specifically, in the Internet of Things. With latest technologies and the Internet of Things, you can monitor your company's usage and see historical data to see if there are any patterns. With all the data available to you, you can analyze it and implement changes to your company to make it even more power efficient. In turn, you won't just be saving money, but playing your role in saving the planet. In our next webinar, we will explain what technologies are helping companies understand their impact on climate change and how different technologies can be used to reduce carbon footprint and contribute to a better future for all. I hope you found this webinar helpful and informative. If you would like to find out more about Amplicon or future webinars, please visit the Amplicon website. Thank you.